So the griot in those times, in being as though the African civilization was ahead of everybody else in the world. It's the birthplace of it's the Africa is the birthplace of civilization. We were ahead of everybody. Okay, so when a lot of people walk around and feel unworthy or because they were told we were slaves, that wasn't our origin. Nonetheless, I'm not going to get too deep into where I'm trying to go with what this video is all about. Understanding that you're not alone. So today I was watching a video by a gentleman by the name of Ash Cash, and his podcast is Earn Your Leisure. And on there he had a young man, which I commend both of them, both of those young men, Jason White, aka Jay White, and he was on there teaching on how to procure government contracts. Now he said he started in 2008, and that's crazy because in 2008, I had decided that I wasn't going to work for nobody no more. That I was going to figure out how to earn an income, and be self-sufficient and independent on my own. I didn't know the first clue. I just knew that I was going to take my social security number, which is 9 numbers, right? And then I was going to take that and get an EIN number, and then set up a business and do it all. I did it all on my own, but I didn't know what to do with it. So it's amazing to sit here and listen to Jason White's story. But he had somebody tell him, "Yo, we're gonna do business, government contracts," and he told the story on how that person got locked up and he still was in them, and he decided to do everything. He didn't know anything about what he's doing. So I'm sitting here amazed at his story, and I'm like, wow. And one of the things he said in the video is he didn't like to read. So I've made videos in which I didn't like to read, but when I start reading, I would love it. So I would read books on all kinds of stuff, but I wasn't reading books on how to monetize my EIN number. Now, I do know how to build a bank, which I'm going to make a video on, a bank, on how to build a bank where you don't have no other way. You do have a social security number in which you can use that social security number to get credit, which in turn, if you manage that credit right by not going, if you're disciplined, a 30% usage rate, meaning that if your credit card limit is $3,000, every month you have 3 times 3, which is $900 to spend out of 3,000. So if you never go over that $3,000, that $900 amount every month, and just keep it whereas though your usage rate is 30%, and you pay back that 30% every month. So you figure you got fixed expenses. You got your cell phone, you got your water bill, you got your light bill. If all those add up to under $300, and then you add in, say I'm gonna use a part of that $900 to get gas, every month you got $900 in credit. So to build your bank, you take that $900 every month, and every month, instead of paying your bills first, you use the $300, the $900 off your credit, off your $3,000 credit limit. You use the $900 to pay all your fixed expenses: your cell phone, your water bill, your electric bill, satellite bill. You use that credit card and you spend $900 paying those fixed expenses that's going to come every month, and then take that money you was going to pay directly to those persons, to those creditors, and you pay the credit card bill every month. You're back to $3,000, and then every month you do that. Every 90 days you can go back to the credit card company and say, "Yo, can I get an increase?" But you still use the 30% usage rate. So I knew that. I built a bank quite a few times, and I messed up the bank quite a few times, but you can always start back at one. So he told how he didn't like to read, and it made me laugh because the video previously I said I didn't like to read, and then he said that he um didn't know, so the lack of knowledge. So he started being what business 101. Most of the business that get done in this country is relationships. And he told this dope story on how he said he was going to be, he worked at a car wash, a gas station. He was going to be the best gas station working. I just was liking what this young man was saying. I vibe with him because that's how I was. The difference between me and him, at least he had a friend to tell him that. I discovered all this on my own. So I ain't have no friends to, when I was talking about getting houses back in 97 and building credit back in 97, all my friends was like, yeah, whatever, nigga, I'm paying cash. So when Jay-Z dropped 444 and dropped the word credit, everybody woke up, but I was woke in 97. I was always ahead of the proverbial curve. So I spoke to a friend of mine today, and he was telling me I was in the fourth quarter of my life. No, I'm not. I was third quarter. And I might not be 6 minutes in. I might only be 2 minutes in. But the bottom line is I woke. I woke up because everything that all these people are saying on the internet, I know a little bit of everything. So I'm what they call a Swiss Army knife. The beautiful thing about a Swiss Army knife was made by people who live in Switzerland, where they're very efficient in what they do. So their army is one of the best in the world. The Swiss Army is one of the best armies in that. They're so dope. They invented a knife that if they're stuck in the wilderness, that knife could do everything. So I always would equate myself with a Swiss Army knife. Although I'm of African descent, I'm a Swiss Army knife.